So I wanted to just hop on here and discuss why bone loss accelerates in menopause and really what's often not explained. So bone loss doesn't just creep in, it really speeds up fast. And research shows that women can lose as much as 20% of their bone mass in the years surrounding menopause. That is not subtle, that is really structural. So when estrogen falls, the cells that break down suddenly start working faster than the ones trying to rebuild it. And now stack that with insulin resistance and chronically high stress hormones, not eating enough protein, low vitamin D absorption, gut inflammation, and not strength training. And your skeleton will quietly start paying the price. So in functional medicine, I'm not just over here looking at your DEXA scan, okay? I am looking at the entire picture and I'm asking, how inflamed is the body? Are nutrients properly being absorbed? Is the thyroid sluggish? How is your sleep? Is muscle being supported? I look at your blood sugar stability because bone is living tissue and it responds to signals like hormones and nutrition, weight bearing movement, exercise, inflammation, and your metabolism. Now, peptides can be a part of the conversation for the right person at the right time, okay? But they should never just be step one. And you cannot build bone in a body that is inflamed, underfueled, losing muscle, and running purely on cortisol and stress hormones. That's not advanced medicine. That is just basic biology. Now, here's the part most women are never told, and it really matters here. So, some medications that are often used in midlife quietly speed up bone loss even faster. Not dramatically, not overnight, quietly. If thyroid replacement is running too high, your body can actually start breaking down bone faster than it rebuilds it. Now, long-term PPIs, proton pump inhibitors, they can make it even harder for your body to absorb calcium in the first place, which is kind of important, guys, when we're talking about bones here. And birth control shots like Depo-Provera have been linked to bone density loss, especially long-term use. And in menopause care, some hormone modulating drugs intentionally lower estrogen. Now, in certain situations, that could be helpful. Yes, absolutely. But estrogen also protects your bones. So if no one is paying attention to bone health, your skeleton is quietly picking up the bill. That is root cause medicine. Smart, strategic, and long term. Now, let's talk about hot flashes for a second. Your hypothalamus, the thermostat of your brain, when it senses overheating, blood vessels will open at the skin, heart rate will rise, and your sweat glands will kick on. And in menopause, shifting hormone signals make that thermostat completely unstable. So your body overreacts, and that is your hot flash. It's not weakness, it's not anxiety, it is biology. And there are deeper systems shifting as well, like your growth hormone output from the pituitary. It gradually will decline with age. It affects your tissue repair, your metabolism, inflammation, and your muscle maintenance. Cellular aging and inflammatory signaling will rise. The stress response system between your brain and your adrenal glands, called the HPA axis, start to constantly stay switched on longer than it should, which means your cortisol is always running high. Your mitochondria, the energy factors inside every single cell, will stop producing ATP efficiently. And that's when I start thinking about mitochondrial support, peptides like MOTC, NAD, methylene blue, SS31. They're all used to support cellular energy production, oxidative balance, and metabolic resilience. Now for your deep sleep, right? When your growth hormone is released, it usually happens at night, right? That's when your recovery happens. That's when cortisol should come back down. And that's why peptides like DSIP, delta sleep inducing peptide, will come up to help improve your body, restore sleep, and improve healthier stress hormone rhythms. And then there's hormone signaling itself. Kisspeptin, it was one of the master regulators of the reproductive system, and it stimulates GnRH, which is your gonadotropin releasing hormone in the brain. So it tells the pituitary to release FSH and LH, the hormones that run ovarian function, your cycles, libido, and your hormone production. Then there's blood sugar regulation. It matters too. That's where retatrutide comes into the conversation, which will improve your insulin sensitivity. It will calm inflammation and protect your muscles. So energy will stay steady instead of spiking and crashing. Now for your skin and connective tissue repair, GHKCU is amazing because it supports collagen production and it helps calm inflammatory signaling. And for your structural repair and for injury, BPC 157 and TB 500 are phenomenal. And when I'm also thinking about longevity and circadian regulation, throw in a Pidilon. And together, these peptides are designed to work with your body's own signaling systems instead of overwhelming them. Now, how do you fix this in real life? So, you want to start with the conductor, your brain, your gut, your blood sugar, your sleep. nutrient status, your stress, cortisol, your muscle. And then we layer in advanced tools like peptides. And that is how you rebuild bone. That is how you protect structure. And that's how women feel strong again and not brittle. If this hit home for you, you guys follow along for more root cause reality. And I'd love to hear your feedback. So comment below.